Let's see. Sweet. Hey, everyone. All the AP Physics Mechanics people. Let's see.
Physics lovers.
So give people a couple more seconds to drop in, but for the people that are here, drop where you're from in the chat. California.
Ooh,
got another
I
Californian.
like it.
Orlando, awesome. Are you guys, are the people in the chat, are you new to Fiveable, or have you been using Fiveable for a little while? Well, I'll just dive right in, and while you guys kind of type out your answers. But my name is Tan, and I'm the Chief Experience Officer at Fiveable. So welcome to Fiveable. Welcome to our AP Physics C Mechanics open house with Sam, and also Stephen here. So I'll just tell you a little bit about Fiveable. So basically, in 2018, Amanda started it to kind of, help live stream to her previous students. When she had moved across the country, they were looking for help, and Amanda, just dove right into live streaming. And then when I joined in 2018, she had built up a pretty steady following of a couple, 100 kids. By winter of January 2019, there's a couple thousand students. And then by the end of this school year, we hit almost 1.5 million students. Just specifically in APs. So that's kind of like our like a brief overview of like our growth journey. Amanda is the founder and CEO. Again, I'm the Chief Experience Officer, and what I do is I help build the product and manage like the design of everything, handle customer support, which Stephen is also taking on now. So thank you, Stephen. And then, I'm also planning a lot of things around community. That includes things like the orientation happening this weekend, which you'll be given more information about, as well as just building the new Fiveable community that you'll get a sneak peek of in the next few weeks, or orientation if you stop by. So I don't want to take too much time away from Sam, so I'll just let Stephen dive right in and introduce Sam, and then I'll fade away into the background. But yeah, thanks for stopping by, guys. Also, just real quick, if there's other courses that you're thinking about taking, you can use the code OH10 to get $10 off of another Fiveable course. And if you have questions about anything, feel free to email Kate at CAIT@fiveable.me. And Kate is really awesome. She's our head of instruction. She'll be able to answer anything that you might have, any questions you might have. So again, Stephen, take it off.
Sweet, thank you, Ton. And so, like Tom was saying, this weekend we're going to be having a pretty fun little like orientation week, and obviously it'll be sort of online, but it'll be fun to get a glimpse of what all the courses are going to look like. If you're already enrolled in a course, you should have gotten an invite to sign a community agreement, and then from there you'll be introduced into the Slack community. Which is basically a spot where you can chat and really interact with, Sam, your course, whoever your course teacher is. You can interact with each other, ask questions, and all that stuff. So if you have signed up for a course, you're already enrolled and you paid for it, and you haven't been invited into the Slack community, shoot me an email or shoot an email over to hi@fiveable.me, and then we can get you taken care of from there. But apart from that, like Tom mentioned, my name is Steven, and I'm the operations manager here, and I sort of just pick up things, all the things that other people don't want to do. I kind of just take those and fill in the gaps and make sure we're all in a good spot. And so if you have any questions with like Zoom not working or Slack or all these logistical type questions, I'll be your guy to hit up. And then any questions regarding the actual course itself, it'll either be within the Slack community or you can email Kate. Essentially, once you're in the Slack community, we're all around. We're all, one chat away. And so it's nice to be able to get that actual interaction instead of having to go to school and then wait for your teacher to be available. It's going to be a lot more fun this way to be able to interact with each other. So with that being said, Sam, I'll let you take it. If I were to talk about anything physics, it would be a nightmare. And so I'm glad that Sam is here to take you guys through it. So Sam, you can take it away.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Welcome to physics. So we're going to talk about AP Physics C mechanics today, and that's me. So a little bit about me first. I'm going to be the teacher for this class. I am located just outside of Boston in Quincy, Massachusetts, but I have lived kind of in a lot of different places. I grew up in Chicago originally, just on the northwest side. I'm a Cubs fan, just in case you're curious. Also lived in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and Washington, D.C. You can see on there, big into food, all types of food, but especially tacos. I bake bread, and I have 2 succulents. Those are the only living things besides my partner in my apartment, and they're named Fred and George, and I hope that you know where that comes from. So teaching. So this is my 9th year teaching. I've taught high school the whole time, all sorts of different classes. So I've taught everything from freshman conceptual physics through this class, AP Physics C mechanics. I also teach some chem. So I'm kind of just around and do a lot of different things. I've taught AP now for a few years. I also teach at a very project-based school. So I enjoy doing project-based learning. So while obviously in this class, we'll have some times where we're going to kind of like have me talking about some physics. Really what I like to do is give you opportunities to learn yourself and to make connections and to ask questions. So my goal in the class isn't really just to throw a bunch of stuff at you and say, go. It's to throw a bunch of stuff at you and then give you opportunities to make connections with each other and with different simulations and practice and things like that. So that way, hopefully you're not just memorizing, but you're actually learning everything. So that way you both know some physics and also hopefully do well on the test. Like I said, I work at a very project-based school. It's also very tech forward. So I'm very comfortable with this online component. I've been part of a one-to-one iPad program. I use flipped classroom, which is basically kind of sending videos home for you to watch and then doing practice problems together. And even more so now, once COVID hit, we transitioned completely online last spring, as did I think pretty much everyone. And it was actually not too bad because I do a lot of the techie stuff anyway. So this is really fun because this is like one extreme version of that. And I'm excited to connect with all of you online. So what this course looks like. We do 7 units in AP Physics C Mechanics. It's a 15-week course. So it's important to know that it's not meant to necessarily give you every single piece of information that you need for the test, but it's meant to kind of give you the big ideas and give you lots of resources to learn. As you can see on the graphic, there's not like tests or anything, but we do give you a lot of practice problems and ways to assess your learning. So that way you kind of know where you're at and you have an opportunity to fill in any gaps that maybe you would be missing. And really, if there's one kind of takeaway from all of this, it's that I think that we learn best as a community. And for me, that's the most important part of Fiveable. This idea that you'll now be part of this community and be able to interact with peers from everywhere. And also we've got some TAs that you'll talk to that have taken this course and did well and have the ability to help answer questions too. Let me go to the next slide. So what actual things will you get? You'll have a 1-hour live stream with me, so it'll be kind of like this, where I'll talk through the major pieces of content for the unit and maybe do a couple practice problems. I'll give you a bunch of resources. So you'll get resources both from Fiveable themselves and also just internet resources that have been curated to help you understand what's going on, and practice problems. You will also be getting assessments. So I'll show you what that looks like on the next page, but each week I'll give you a practice free response question that will get graded by actual AP readers, and you'll get some feedback. Like I said, it's not for a grade necessarily, but if you are able to do the practice and then get feedback on it, that's so valuable. So you'll have that opportunity as well. And also you'll have office hours with your TAs, and like I said before, an opportunity to connect with other peers in the class in order to learn and to ask questions. So this is an example of what a week will look like. So this is week 1, which is next week. So we'll start just with our first unit, one-dimensional kinematics. You can see that there's a schedule there for you. All the different topics are kind of mapped out as to when you should be doing them. You see that there'll be a live stream, there'll be some office hours, you'll have some discussion posts, and then all of the outside resources are things like simulations and videos and practice problems that we've gone through and found it to be good, basically, and to then give them to you to use as you're learning the information. You can also see at the bottom that there's a free response question. So this is a fresh one. I wrote it, and it's based off of the questions in the curriculum for this week. So you'll kind of learn all the stuff, and then you can test your knowledge using the free response question. You'll submit that. We'll have real AP readers grade it, read it, and grade it, and give you some feedback on it so you can see where you are. So, advice. This is advice for Fiveable, and this is also just advice as you're going through this year taking AP. First is to set a schedule. I would say one of the hardest things you can do for yourself is to not keep up with how things are going. Some people take this class in a term, some people, or in a semester, some take it in a year, especially if you're taking it in a semester, but really for everyone. Set a schedule, do a little bit every day, look at your notes every day, do a practice problem or two when you can, hopefully close to every day, and really just hold yourself accountable and ask people to help you be accountable. So ask a friend, set reminders on your phone, do things to try and keep yourself working in physics a little bit every day, because really sometimes physics is hard to learn quickly. And so being able to really sit with the material and figure out the places that you're missing and talk to your peers and talk to me and your TAs and everyone to just ask those questions and get that clarity is going to be really helpful. The other really big piece of advice is really to commit to what you're doing and to the learning. So when you get questions, when you get practice problems, really try and sit down and do them. Don't kind of halfway do it and be like, yeah, I got it. Sitting down and really working through them and genuinely testing what you know and what you are not sure about is really the only way that you're going to be confident moving forward. So, or you can be sure to be confident. So really committing, really doing all the activities, really taking the assessment seriously, and then asking questions and really just making sure that you're good. Do one more practice problem, teach someone else, just kind of really take that ownership of knowing what you're doing and asking questions, I guess, when you need to. Okay, and so is it worth it? Why are we here? I obviously think it's worth it, or I wouldn't be here with you. I think that sometimes physics is like a new language in that hearing it a couple of times and practicing and maybe even hearing it from a couple of different people is important. Sometimes things will be explained and you're like, I don't really get what you're saying, but if you explain it in a different way, you will. And I think that this is a great resource for that, both from me, but then also from all of those videos and things that you'll be getting to help you to kind of learn from different people and in different ways. I think that this is a great resource as far as accountability and structure. I can't harp on that enough. Really just keeping yourself working on it and not waiting until last minute is going to be really important for this class. And so keeping yourself accountable to doing some physics every week, every day is going to be important. Your TAs are going to be awesome. They're super helpful. Like I said, they're people that took the class last year, did well, know exactly what you're going through, and probably can answer questions in ways that your teachers and me can't even do because they're similar to your age and I'm old. So your TAs are going to be super helpful. And then lastly, just do practice. That's all I can say is just do practice and you'll be okay. So questions. I'm here to answer questions. Stephen is here to answer questions. What questions do you have for us? You can either shout it out or put it in the chat.
Yep, you can feel free to unmute yourself or you can throw it in the chat, but a little bit of time for some questions for anyone.
Fiveable Dolphin here. I actually have a question. If I go to a school where this course isn't offered, but I've taken physics before, is this something that I could do and then study for and take the physics mechanics test?
Yeah, great question. Fiveable Dolphin, yes, definitely. Know that the 1 hour live stream is not going to be enough to learn all of the physics that you need just straight with just the 1 hour. But between that and the resources, absolutely, you can do it. And quite frankly, especially if you've taken AP Physics 1 before and taken a kind of a round of this physics already, all this class does, for the most part, is add in the calculus, which sounds like, oh my God, we're adding calculus, but it's not actually as big of a lift as it sounds, I guess.
Thank you.
Any other questions that you guys have? One of the questions we have been getting a lot is if these open houses will be recorded. I know some of you are here for to get some information and then have to either go to your parents or you send this information over to other students or things like that. And so all of these, including this one included, but they'll all be recorded and available. And then also at the end of the week, we'll send out like a recap with all the open houses all in one place so that you can view whichever ones you want to. And so if you know of anyone that wants to learn a little bit more about this course or any of the other ones, we'll have those recordings for you. But doesn't look like we have any other questions. Usually when I say that, someone throws in a question. But
Wait
well,
time.
Sam,
That's good. That's good teaching.
Oh, I thought that was a question.
I know, me too.
Yeah. Yes, so before we head out, Sam, thank you so much for taking the time to walk us through that course. And how she walked through the course is similar to how each of the other courses will be too. So if you're unable to attend a course for a different subject, the schedule will be pretty similar, but obviously it'll depend on what your community looks like and who your teacher is and things like that. But you can use that code OH10 to save $10 off each course you sign up for. And that's special for all of you that attended live. And so you can feel free to give that to any friends if you know that they want to do it, or if there are any other courses that you're planning on signing up for. And so use that code OH10. What time is the weekly live stream?
So we're still working on that. I don't have an answer yet.
Yeah, Dolphin can answer that. So the schedule has not been finalized yet, but all of our live streams will be in the evening because we know that all of you and all of our teachers have school during the day. So it will definitely be an evening time.
And they'll also be recorded as well. And so if you miss it, we know, especially with the schedule now, it's like you can't just carve out time to hop on the laptop sometimes. And so they'll all be recorded. So even if you I think it's better to attend live to be able to chat and learn things like that, but they'll all be recorded for you to access whenever you want, or if you need to go back to it too. So, yeah, well, I think that's it. Sam, thank you again for taking us through that. If you guys have any other questions, if you're already enrolled in the course, you can, you'll be invited into like a specific physics channel soon, and we'll be able to talk through that. And then if you have any other questions, feel free to email us hi@Fiveable, or honestly through Slack or anything like that. We're always around, and so we want to answer all the questions that you guys have for this. But if there aren't any other questions in this chat, I think we're good to go.
Sounds good. Thanks, everyone. I also love physics, Kristen.
What? No way.
I know.
Perfect. All right. Thank you all for coming. Again, this will be recorded and we'll send that out to you guys as soon as it's available. But have a great rest of your day.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.